Absolutely. I couldn't, again, agree more. If we now zoom a little bit out and zoom back in on the consumer, and we talk about the regional differences between consumers. As there are differences, there are also commonalities. If we look at the key expectations of consumers for retail environments, how would you describe what are the commonalities? What is the key drivers for consumers? What are the must-dos in retail environments?
I think, again, history may tell us, these consumer behaviors will be going phases of development. I think what we are looking at in China at the moment is, early on there is a influx of foreign luxury brand, or the branded items, which are very very much well sought after products for the local. These are kind of to be seen as a you have to be seen as having those to be seen as the in element. I think that phase might slowly change, and with developing into a more mature market, you probably hopefully we will see the emergence of the local brand, and I think it's in a very interesting juncture at this moment to see whether the foreign luxury brand will reinvent themselves, or to try to maybe establish some, to establish themselves into a local, more kind of locally, have a stronger local context, to become, not only a Western brand, but a China brand. So it will be very interesting to see, the slowly, moving into that phase. By and large, at the moment, there are a lot of, the local brand are suffering, or from a lot of the back capacity in terms of the quality assurance aspect. I think the locals, the Chinese, are still looking for the more well-established brand for quality, for quality and good authenticity in terms of the products. So once once the local products can reach certain level of quality assurance, I think that would then see them flourishing. But at the moment, you see people like many people actually sometimes coming to China, to places like Hong Kong, and still look for and buying in bulk, of all these products in likes of in cosmetics, in particular, baby food, or even milk, simply because they feel more reassured that they will get the authentic, genuine products, from these spaces, rather than relying on their shopping trips, in the local store. So it's that element, that is still giving a little bit of edge, for the foreign brands in China.
On a decreasing rate.
Hopefully on a decreasing rate.
Hopefully on a decreasing rate. Yes.
Yes.
Is there any foreign brands you would say they've done particularly well in retailing, or if we take the foreign brands out, what would you pick if you had to pick the best retailing environment you've seen in China? The one that is most impressive, that shows the deepest understanding of consumers. Would there be one that comes to your head where you say, this is done extremely well?
I think even if you're looking at the mass market in terms of the daily consumption of the daily consumed products in the let's say supermarket sector, I think brands like British Tesco, they have done their fare well in the country. Obviously, they were a little bit slower than brands like Walmart or Carrefour in entering the Chinese market. But obviously they've done quite good years of research, and they find local partners to team up with, who I'm sure have advised them of the local taste. And you see in their stores they have made a lot of localization, a lot of local products that have come into that frame. So I thought they certainly have done well. They certainly have done well in localization, but still bearing the good global brand. And this morning we were talking about we hear people like Starbucks, and they are, although it's very much still feel as a US brand, but they are making a tremendous effort of trying to turn it into a China product. They're even talking about possibility of using coffee from Yunnan, area.
Would you go so far to say that this could be a key component of success in China, that the foreign company is willing to demonstrate their commitment to China and say, I want to be here, this is how important it is to send this message to consumers?
I think very much so. I think that will be certainly seen not only from a PR exercise or from a marketing point, but obviously from the utilizing of the local talents, the utilizing of the local produce. I think that's very, very important, and this is a kind of universal truth. I mean, in the process of globalization, you still need to go back to the local context. It's not only ring true in China. If you're moving into Africa, you're moving into South America, I'm sure this formula will still apply.
That's very interesting. Thank you very much for all the information.
It's my pleasure. It's nice talking to you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.